Once you've bid all of the loot out through the bidding tool, which there's another video on, and you've ended all of your auctions, this is the database and history of every single item that has ever gone out to bid that the guild has. And you can see it's quite a history. You could scroll down, there's a lot of entries, you can search it. Great way to research it, but the purpose of this is really to show you how to take something that went out to bid, that has been closed and assigned to the person, and then actually apply those items to the raid. The application of the items to the raid is the act of charging somebody and putting that record out there that the individual paid what they did for the items. So this is really the most important part, because you can bid things out all day, you can create raids all day, but if you don't connect the fact that the items have been bid out and assigned to the raid, no one's going to be charged DKP, which I'm sure people will love. So we have a great example here of an Aten Ha-Ra kill that looks to have been done, I guess yesterday or this morning, depending on your time zone. There were 4 items that were bid out. And these 4 items had winners. There's all sorts of DKP and names to it. However, none of these items were applied to the raid. So this is going to show you how to apply these items to the raid. So to start, you will click any of the items applicable right here. And so in this case, I want to apply all 4 of them. If these were, say, 2 different bosses, I only want to say do the most recent boss, which might be these 2. But in this case, we know that this is all from Aten Ha-Ra. So you're going to select the items and you're going to click this Generate Loot Logs. Generate Loot Logs, it's sort of the coding that OpenDKP uses to apply to the raid. It's also something you can put in raid say or in other ways to announce loot. We typically do that over voice, but if there's a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of integration with Discord and bots that use this coding. But for now, this is simply to apply it. You're going to take this text, and you're going to copy it, hit OK. Then you're going to go to your raids, and you're going to find the current raid in which you want to apply this to. And I created Aten Ha-Ra Open World. So this is a blank raid for these items, not to be confused with the additional Open World Aten Ha-Ra we did the other day. You're going to click the raid, click Edit, and then at the bottom here, there's items. So this is where the item administration occurs. You want to go down to Add Items Bulk, and the text that you pasted will go right here. This is also your opportunity to manually adjust any of this for instances where our rule set does not agree with OpenDKP. For example, if we have multiple items, OpenDKP is going to charge 2 people differently. You can edit this. So if there were 2 of these Crimson Rune Masks and they went for 150, you can edit it to make sure that each individual is charged the appropriate amount, the appropriate names, instances of ties, instances where only 1 person bid. This is your chance to record it manually. So once you have it in here and you're happy with how this is, you can hit Add Items. It will apply the items up to the raid. I know there was an error message. That happens a lot. All that really matters is that the items have loaded in here. Don't forget, you'll have to hit Save Raid, and if you don't hit Save Raid, none of this is going to apply. Hit Save Raid, and there you go. If you double check, go back to raids, you can see that Aten Ha-Ra Open World had 4 items, 339 DKP. If you select it, you can see it here. If you're not really sure if it worked, there's another easy way you could tell. So I'll just take scratches here. He won that mask for 150. If I go to the summary, if I go to scratches, I should be able to see under the items here that he has a history of the Crimson Rune Mask Aten Ha-Ra for the date for 150. So it worked. So we're good there. At that point, that's really it for applying raid loot. If for whatever reason this doesn't work, you have the other option to add something manually. So if we needed to add that Crimson Rune Mask manually, you just type it in. This is your item search database. You would type the characters to be charged to. This is typically how we have to add items out to alts. If you don't do it with the loot logs, it's just sometimes easier to do this. So let's say it's 150. You could put like alt bid win or whatever you need to. As soon as you hit add item, you'll see it goes up to here as a duplicate. And we're obviously going to delete that. So you have it, but there is another option for add items manually. Generally, all of this should be done using the generate loot logs.